What's up, guys? I'm Obi. Hi. For the past 30 minutes, I've been thinking about what the hell am I going to talk about to you guys. It's a new day, I should make a new video, and I should know what I'm talking about. I'm stuttering as well. Pretty crap day so far. But you know what? I have a great idea. A lot of you guys don't know how to be creative. You don't know how to create stuff and be cool and be imaginative and all jazzy stuff like that. I'm not saying I know how to be like that. I have an idea. I don't know. So instead of trying to make something up, allow me to show you a process that I guess I work on. And we're gonna be using my clipboard that we used last time. I still have a lot of this stuff on it, so we're gonna have to draw over it because I don't have enough money to buy a new one. I wrote it down right here. How to make your own creative process. Ignore all of this right here. You don't have to worry about all of that right there. I'll only focus on this part specifically. So a lot of the time when you make your own process, well, before I continue with that, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about my day so far. I'm not feeling the best right now. It could be many things. I spoke about that of my other video the other day. Is that some days you just wake up and you don't feel that great. I don't feel that great right now. I'm stuttering, I feel sleepy, and it's the morning as well. That's a really bad thing. I only had like 2 hours of sleep, which is really, really bad. But does that matter? No, it's a brand new day and I still work regardless. Regardless of how I feel, regardless of what happens throughout the day, you still work no matter what. That's the number one rule when you do anything with your life. That's only regarding discipline. We're not talking about discipline, we're talking about creativity. LeBron's in my ears. I don't even know if it's LeBron. That one Hinge ad where it's a black man that sounds like LeBron in my ears. Usually when someone's a creative person, I forget if it's left or right minded. That's a very important thing I should remember though. People could either be creative or very, I don't know what the word is, something about being statistical, something like that, where they cannot really think outside the box, they color within the lines. And both have very, very specific purposes, both have very specific uses, and both can be good in many ways. I don't know what I am. I'm probably more on the creative side. But what I do know for a fact, without a doubt, is that I know how to get back into that world of creativity instead of breaking out of that and not be able to focus back into the thing that I'm focusing on. I forgot what I'm talking about. I will begin with those that are creative. A lot of the time, those people, they have or they lack a lot of discipline. Because when you're creative, you have these incredible, inspiring moments where you do all this cool stuff, and then a lot of the time it's emotional based. So when something happens like that, it all falls apart and they have to restart to get back to that place that you were, the creativity zone that you're at. People have their own ways to get into that spot. People have their own styles and little tricks to fix themselves. Fix themselves, is that the right way? They have their own routine, so they know how to get back to their spot in some way. The only problem with them is that they lack a lot of discipline sometimes to get back to that little zone. As I said, those people are pretty simple, not too difficult to deal with because all they require is discipline. Discipline hurts, discipline sucks. Discipline is a lot easier to acquire than creativity. It's as a gift. Creativity is a gift. So let me divide this. You guys should be following along too. Hope that helps. If you could manage, if you could manage to read this, on this side right over here, it shows that they lack discipline, but they require motivation. So that could be something big, something small, whatever it is. Once they figure out the motivation part, then they get the ball rolling. They keep going, they keep pushing to create whatever it is to create. On the flip side, the people that are very logical thinkers are very uncreative. You guys need to help me out with which side of the brain this is, because I'm still learning too. But for right now, we're gonna call them logical thinkers. Right there. Alright. Alright, when you're a logical thinker, a lot of the time, you play by the rules, as shown as clearly right over here on this side. You play by the rules, don't like to go against the grain, you don't like to find your own way, you just like to keep it simple, straightforward. Nothing wrong with that. There really isn't anything wrong with that. But it can be an issue. And let me explain it like this. We're all human, each and every one of us, I think. And humans, they don't stick to a logical state of things all the time. A lot of time we're logical, but a lot of time we're emotional. A lot of time we like to make our own way, make our own path, and figure out something out of thin air. Or thoughts. Thoughts are air. Same thing, I guess. So what that means is finding a way to the path you want to reach to, the path you want to become, creativity. No, creative. This word. Okay, all right, cool. We got the introduction out the way. We got the entire thing out the way. Now back to the question. What the hell institutes? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. What the hell institutes, or what the hell means to be creative? What is it? What does that even look like? So let's break it down a bit. What's the definition of creativity? What does that even mean? And this time I'm gonna search it up, and I'm also gonna get the definition for the left and right brain meaning. I'll be right back. Put a commercial on or something. I don't care. If you want, but go ahead. You walk by whenever you want. If you want, brother, you can walk by whenever you want, dude. Don't worry about it.
Cool. I can walk around. I'm not gonna take 5 steps.
Sounds good, man. According to ChatGPT, the definition of creativity. Creativity is the ability to generate new and original ideas or solutions, especially ones that are useful, meaningful, or valuable. So basically, as it says, creativity is your brain going beyond the obvious and making. Creativity is your brain going beyond the obvious and making something new that actually matters. So thinking outside the box. Is that an IQ thing? I don't know. What I do know is that it's not within the lines. Something outside of the line. I'll write that as definition. Going out of bounds from regular. If you could read that. Okay. All right. Cool. That out the way. To enter out of bounds. That's a very tricky situation. Because a lot of the time, for the majority of people, once you enter an area that's quote unquote out of bounds, that becomes a problem. The idea of going out of bounds is a little scary. Because we have people around us that when they see us going out of bounds, is my camera moving? When they see people going out of bounds, all they want to do is just bring them back, yank them back, say there, don't move, good boy. That's all they want to do. That's all they really care about. For one reason or another, subconsciously or consciously, that's what they want to do. So there's two things to keep in mind from that point. It's either one, you want to go against what they say for the intention of going against what they say, whether that being a bad or good thing, up to you. Or the other reason is going against the word, against the will, for a bigger reason than yourself or the person themselves. Those are two big distinctions. Because to do something for your own sake, for your own will, that's cool, that's great, but over time, you know, it doesn't really have that much meaning when you do it for yourself. But when it's done for a purpose or for somebody else, that changes the entire playbook. It's very similar to how love works. A lot of the time when you love just for yourself, it doesn't really work out. Because that's not the entire point of love. That's not the entire idea of falling in love. To truly love and to truly care isn't a selfish idea. To have those abilities is think about others. Because it is for people that actually have love and have care for people, for themselves, or anything in their life. Once you figure out what that means and what that looks like, that changes from saying, I'm doing this because fuck it, we ball. No, I'm doing this because people rely on me to be this way. Whether it could be somebody else or it could be myself. So let's get back into the question. What does out of bounds look like? We've gotten the answer of what happens or the reaction of an out of bounds player. But what does it even look like to be out of bounds? In fact, actually, I spoke about this the other day. I'm gonna talk about this again. Stick with me on this one. Hall of Egress. I know, wait. If you've been following me or been knowing about me or just heard my name every once in a while, you might have heard me along with the name of Hall of Egress. That comes from Adventure Time. That's a TV show on Cartoon Network. If you don't know what Adventure Time is. And within the episode, long story short, the entire point: go forward, don't look back, do it blind. That's literally it. All that to say is that to go out of bounds means to enter an area, enter a zone, enter a point in your life where you have no idea what's going to happen next. That's in a grand scale. That's in a big scale. We're not talking about big, we're talking about small. So in a minuscule concept, in a small idea, within a small scale, what does it mean to go out of bounds? Matter of fact, I cannot think of a better example as of right now. I think If you know a better example, please tell me. Put it down in the comments. Put down 200 comments and 50,000 likes. And if you don't do that, the world will burn. A good example is what I'm doing right now. These little videos. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Do I like what I'm doing? I actually do. Do I have a plan? Do I have a big old plan to what's gonna happen next? No. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm even doing the right thing most of the time. A lot of the time I feel uncomfortable. A lot of the time I feel awkward. A lot of the time I don't feel good, but I still do it anyways. Not because I'm some better person. I think I deserve whatever it is. No, it's because I'm going out of bounds. It's because I'm saying that I'm tired within this line. Let me step out of it. Maybe I can color outside of a line, make an even bigger painting outside of a line, but I cannot figure that out until I actually do it. And I'm gonna use this triangle just to save some space for any future videos. There's a line, and you want to color a line. And the majority of you guys, or some of you guys, majority of you guys, are right here in this little spot. You want to play within the lines. And when I say majority, listen to me when I say this. When I say the majority of you guys are in that spot, I mean it. And I know that because a lot of you think you're not in that spot. But once you realize what that spot actually is and what it looks like and what does it take to get out of that spot, give me a message on Instagram. What I'm saying is that position, that next part of life, that little gray zone area, that's where true creativity comes from. Two things I want to make clear. Some people, they thrive off that position. They probably really want that position because they've always done a position, whatever reason it can be. That's for some people. But the majority of people, I took a pause for a moment because I'm thinking in what situation would ruin someone's creativity. I know there's some people out there that just aren't creative, that don't know how to be creative. And I have an idea. I have a concept of what will that be. And I will tell you. The concept that I'm thinking of right now, I don't know if it's correct, but what I'm thinking of right now is that they've never felt the joys or the pains or the growths of stepping out of bounds. But I think it's a cheap answer. I don't want to give you that answer because it is an answer. Some people do go through that. I think the majority of people go through that. But I don't think that's the leading cause. I think that's a symptom of a leading cause. Give me a second. Let me think. Ah, boy. Got it. I got it. The answer is okay. I got the answer, and I'm confident with this one. The answer is routine. It's absolutely 100%, undeniably 98% routine. Doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over again every single day. Yeah, how I came up with that answer, I don't want to say from personal experience because it's not. It's not from personal experience. I've never allowed myself to constantly be in the same loophole every single day. If we're gonna do the same thing different day, we're gonna do the same thing tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure I develop in a different way tomorrow in whatever way I can think of. Some bullshit like that I just make up to make sure that I don't fall behind within myself, only for myself at that point. But I don't believe people think like that. And it could be for many reasons. It could be for, stick with me on this one, it could be for friendships, could be for relationships, could be for love, could be for all these different things that tell you, that allow yourself to stay stagnant, stay still. Not because you want to, not because you consciously want to stay still, but because things are going pretty good right now. I have things that I feel like I like and I need, so I don't really have to do much. It's not a bad feeling at all. It really isn't a bad feeling. And if you have family, you have friends, you have loved ones that are around you all the time, keep them, hold them as strong as possible. Never let them go. And I mean that. Never ever let them go. No matter who tells you what, no matter what idea you have in your minds. But what I'm trying to say, subconsciously, we do run. We don't do it without the awareness of us hiding or us escaping. When there's somebody else next to us, we don't think about the problems that we should probably face to better ourselves in the creative process. Back on creativity and going way off track. To better ourselves within the creative process, and how to develop our way to figure out the hidden meaning behind something that's hidden. Something like that. So how do you solve that? It's as simple. I can make this simple. Just change it up. But that's a simple answer. I'm not a simple answer kind of guy. That's why you freaking give me 50,000 likes. There are so many ways to change it. There's so many ways to make your own path, make your own way. And everyone's different. Everyone can handle different things. Everyone can take different things. And I'm not going to tell you to do X, Y, Z the exact same way, because you're going to get a different result from what I've gotten. And I don't want you to get a entirely different path and try to figure it out, because people cannot figure it out because you don't have developed it yet. They haven't developed the skills to develop that path for themselves. That's what that's where creativity comes in. I believe, at least, where creativity comes in. Creativity is not just I can make this little piece of art. It's not. Creativity is, if I need to figure out an answer when there is no answer, when there is no path, when there is no route to whatever I need to achieve, I'll figure it out. That's what creativity looks like. Now, how do you find that's gonna have to be within yourself? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. Probably gonna cry like every week or something. I don't know. But the point is that you'll figure it out. And when you figure it out, things will be a lot better. You'll feel a lot better. There's an ad on my ear, so if I lost energy, just stick with me for a moment. Hinge. The Hinge ad, LeBron. There we go. I wrote it down for you. Let's make it look pretty and nice. Oh, here. You find an answer when there is no answer. I think I made a video about that, actually. How you do that changes per person. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna fucking suck. It's gonna suck a lot. But once you figure that out, the right side of the brain is creativity. I hope I said that right. Right over here. Left side is creativity. Right side is creativity. Left side is